Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Glenn Semler and you're watching Sniper Photography. So good to have you here today. This is a quick video on a series of videos that I'll be doing in the next few days. In actual fact, it's part 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is actually the introduction to those 4 videos. Now, the subject is macro photography or close-up photography. Now, this is a very interesting genre of photography, and lately people have been asking me, can I do more or produce more videos here on Sniper Photography for or about macro photography, but more importantly about people that are thinking about giving it a go, what equipment to use. So I thought, well, that got me thinking. I thought, well, I might as well do this. I'll put 4 videos together, part 1 through to part 4. Now, part 1, 2 and 3, I'll be demonstrating to you all the equipment that you can use and the reasons for that. Plus also too, in part 1, which is following this video, I'll be showcasing equipment that you probably already own. And it's more angled towards people that are thinking about giving macro photography a try or giving it a go. But they're not quite sure and they don't know whether they've got the right equipment or not. So basically part 1 will be for those people, people that are thinking of giving macro photography a try. So, and I'll be using basically basic equipment such as a crop sensor body, and the reason for that is most people that are starting out in photography or wanting to get into some sort of macro or close-up photography, they'll probably either use a crop sensor body or a micro 4/3, or could possibly using a full frame, but that's probably a bit later on in series 2 and 3, or maybe 3 and 4. So I'll be using a crop sensor body. I'll be using a 50mm 1.8 lens, which is absolutely fantastic. Everyone should own a 50mm lens without a doubt. So I'll be using that on the crop sensor body with extension tubes, a speed light and a diffuser, and basically that's it. That is the startup kit for video number 1 or part 1 of this 4-part series, and it'll show you that you can start macro photography or close-up photography without spending too much money. I'm an advocate for not going out and spending thousands of dollars on equipment that you may never use once you've used it once or twice. So at least with the setup that I'll be showing you in part 1 of this 4-part series here on Sniper Photography, you will be able to use that equipment whether you like close-up or macro photography in general. So you're not wasting your money even if you have to go out and buy a speed light or extension tubes or a 50mm lens. So I'll be showing you that. I'll be hand holding that gear. And then part 2, I'll be upgrading the equipment to still using a crop sensor body, but with a macro lens, a more powerful speed light and a different diffuser, but no extension tubes because I'm using a macro lens. Though you can use extension tubes with the macro lens for greater magnification, but then you start to increase focusing and depth of field issues. So part 2 will encompass a crop sensor body, a faster recycling speed light, and a fully dedicated macro lens with a good diffuser. Then we move on to part 3. Now part 3 is for the advanced photographer or someone that's really starting to get into their macro photography and they've already gone through part 1 and part 2. So part 3, I'll be introducing to you what I believe is probably the best lighting for macro photography that I've ever seen and tried, and that's the Godox MF12 units. You'll be probably surprised what that looks like when you actually see it in operation. I'll also be using a full frame body with a high recharging speed light and a fully dedicated 100mm Canon macro lens, which is an absolute fantastic lens to use for macro photography and close-up. And the diffuser, well, it encompasses the Godox MF12 speed light with a trigger which you'll see in video 3. Now, part 4 is when I'll be putting all that into practice. During the segments, part 1 to part 3, I will be naturally taking photographs or capturing images with each setup. But part 4 will be I'll be going into the advanced type of macro and close-up photography with the Godox MF12 and the 100mm Canon macro 2.8 lens, which, as I said, is a fantastic lens to use. All this equipment is owned by myself. I've brought all this equipment with my own money. No one has given me this. This is not a gear review for different companies. This is all the equipment that I own for macro and close-up photography. So we'll clear that up. And then there could be a bonus number 5 YouTube video, we don't know yet, where I will be trying all these different setups to see what we can actually get. Even though between part 1 and part 3, you will see the results that I will achieve by using these different setups. So it's a great thing to do this. I'm looking very forward to it. We are at the mercy of the weather here the last couple of weeks. So if it's overcast and drizzle, that won't worry me, but we've had some big downpours here in the mountains, and it's a bit windy as well, because wind is the macro close-up photography enemy, and I have to watch that. So it'll probably be early morning before the wind picks up. So over a period of time, I'll put these videos together, this series, part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4, and I think you should get some enjoyment out of it. And what I'll be doing after each video, I'll be putting down links to the equipment that I used during these videos. So if you're interested, you can buy them through various outlets. Amazon is one of them, actually. Amazon have some great prices and you can get all your gear there. I spend quite a lot of money with Amazon, and a fantastic organisation, Amazon, by the way. And just a quick shout out to our sponsor, Touchdown Digital. They've been with me now for many years, and they look after me greatly. They handle all my social media and they handle these videos, and they really promote the work that I do. So thank you to Touchdown Digital, the boys and girls out there in Penrith, in New South Wales. That's where they're based, and good operators. That's touchdowndigital.com.au. So that's about it for this introduction video. So keep an eye out for that. You will be notified if you've hit that subscribe button and the bell next door, so you don't miss anything. So you will know when these videos are up and running here on YouTube under the Sniper Photography YouTube channel. So that's it. It's coffee time for me. And as I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, you keep shooting, keep smiling. Bye for now.